Hello, everyone, and welcome to the LTH product briefing. Today, I'm joined by Ryan Gerhardy, the CEO and co-founder of Pitchly. Welcome, Ryan.
Thanks, Nikki.
Nice to have another Aussie on the show. Um, Ryan, so we are excited to see Pitchly today. But before we jump into it, can you give us a little bit of background on how Pitchly was founded and really why you decided to jump out of your comfort zone and launch your own product?
Yeah, thank you. And I agree, it's great to have another Aussie on here. So I launched Pitchly to scratch my own itch. I was in investment banking, working on pitches, proposals, and deal experience information, and managed a team of 10 people, and 2 of them were dedicated to that task almost exclusively. And so I saw that opportunity when I was working at Grant Thornton in Australia and worked with them in the earliest of days to build a product to solve that. And that's what we do today. We help connect data sets from your firm to then the work being done by the team in knowledge management experience, and then obviously in pitch and proposal content as well.
Fantastic. And although I know that Pitchly serves other verticals as well, law firms are a significant vertical for you. What is it specifically? What problems do you solve for law firms?
Yeah, so we do everything from, we started our first product was for tombstones for BD and marketing teams and creative services, and really helping automate those assets so that they're governed with rules and logic for like confidential information, for undisclosed deal values, for client approved logos, and all the way now through to we do pitch and proposal in Word and PowerPoint, and then also experience management and greater knowledge management around a firm. So connecting us to things like Salesforce or HiQ or other products allows us to then access information, share that with the firm and practices, individual teams even, and then connect our productivity suite to then do work, things like tombstones, things like proposals, or things like research projects and data enrichment through our AI product as well.
Fantastic. And we just had a chat off screen where you mentioned data enablement is one of the key value adds, which I think is a wonderful way of putting it. And also, Ryan, just so everybody knows, congrats on closing a significant funding round.
Yes, thank you.
So why don't we jump in and take a look at the product? I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly right. I think that data enablement concept is something we're bringing to market. It's a new category we're creating. And so the way we're educating people is helping them understand that you have a lot of data in your firm. And the big data wave has been here for more than a decade. And now we're helping CIOs and database administrators actually put it to work. We're allowing teams to now share and access that with permissions to share around the organization and then create work. And so I'm going to start, this is our new product. We're officially announcing it next month at LMA. So really excited to show you before everyone else, Nikki. Mates rates, if you will. The Australians will understand that. But the opportunity for us here is the ability now to slice and dice an organization's information. So if we take one step back, the way Pitchly works is we're connecting to data sets, say Salesforce or a SQL database or a website or all of them, and then allowing the organization to administer different workspaces is what we call them. And a workspace here is designed for a team, a practice, a department, or a task. So we've got everything from attorneys managing their own bios as a workspace. That can be done in Pitchly, or that can be received from website updates. But the important thing is now that bio update is available in all the pitch and proposal connection materials in here. So if you think about Pitchly, you connect your headstock of your data sets, and that's the data enablement platform that you're seeing here. And then we can dive into the workspace for BD and marketing. And now they've got the fields that they're responsible for across the firm that they might be able to update, and others can receive those updates. And
Ryan,
then
can I
through
just
here,
interrupt you
yeah.
briefly? So does Pitchly become the source of truth for those data sets, or is it pulling from the source of truth?
Typically for kind of firms with between 50 and 500 attorneys, we become the source of truth, and we're often uploading from Excel or even chamber submissions to create this knowledge base. For kind of AmLaw 200 firms, I would say we're probably more the recipient and a beneficiary of that data set and not the source of truth.
Thank you.
And from here, you can then interact. So it can be bi-directional information. So where we are the source of truth, we might be feeding that information back to other providers, say a CRM or a website as well. And then from here, we have the ability to now click through different tables in our workspace. And again, this is for marketing and BD. So we can go to the professionals tab, which is where we house bios. We can see the information that's relevant to them. We can then go through the matters and all the different opportunities and ways customers are using our product. Once we're connected to that knowledge base, you can create tables from that knowledge base. So you can now go and create a new table to create. We had a client that created a Mansfield rules table. They've created awards and rankings tables for the marketing and BD. For attorneys, it's more about actually seeing the matters that have been done around the firm, the billing, and then the information available to them about who's worked with prior industries and clients.
So you'd have different target users in the system. You'd have BD and marketing, but you would also have attorney end users in here.
Yeah, absolutely. And attorneys can now go to one place. You don't need to share a Word document or an Excel document around the firm or fill out forms that you don't know where they go. You can come in here and you can manage a bio and then have that synced to all of your different assets. We can also receive this from the website if that's the preference to update it there. But typically attorneys like to access this not via the website CMS panel. And then from here, how we put this to work, and this is kind of the final step, is you can see each of these matters. We can open up and see them as our first product we launched was for tombstone automation. So designing a table and designing content that automatically created deal tombstones and allowed you to manage and change templates really quickly. So we can go and we can flick through different options. This is all code and live, so these are not images. We can then also manage the template, which I will show you in a next instance. So we can go here and kind of create these templates using that knowledge base. So we are inserting fields from Salesforce, from your CRM, from your CMS, from your SQL database, from your billing system, or from another experience system to put into here and then actually sync to that template.
This
And
looks
this
like
is
it would be an incredibly arduous manual process if you didn't have something like this to automate it.
well, that's right. And our largest customers have 20,000 plus tombstones and bios and case studies, but managed by 4 or 5 templates in Pitchly. And because of the rules and logic we can embed, it allows you to do different things as well. So, hide confidential deal values, don't show a logo if we don't have permission. You can do a branding refresh and update in a couple clicks. If you want to change this to blue, you can change it here in the template and all assets update. So those kind of things are extremely powerful for large teams working across multiple offices with many assets. And so it just gives you those different options and ability to do that. And so from here, now we can export this. And this was our first product to export into PowerPoint directly from Pitchly. We can also choose different options and layouts here to then automatically sync. We can also sort them. So we want to sort by date. And this is the type of automation I'm talking about. So we're connected to source data. It's real time. So every time a new matter comes that meets the criteria, it can be published here automatically up to an unlimited pieces of content, which allows you to do that really quickly and then export it to PowerPoint. We do this for proposals. We call this the pitch content side, but we also do it for full-blown PowerPoint and Word documents connected to that knowledge base. And then one other area I wanted to touch on very quickly was the new AI app we're releasing and announcing. This is an ability to enrich records. So if we go to the clients and companies tab, the NASIC code, we can do things like open our AI center. This is where our apps live. So each workspace can have different and unique apps stored here. So we could say, I'm just using the field in Pitchly, company name, giving it short description.
This is the AI is actually pulling the correct next code, and then
Correct. We're putting it into this cell. And so a few different ways you can do this. You can see I've there got different options being displayed here. And if we want to do it across multiple records, you simply do it across multiple records.
Got it.
So this is something that we're doing to now add more value to the data sets we're connected. If you don't have this taxonomy already done, we can now help you do that, and really leverage that in.
I really love the way that you can do this for multiple records at a time once you've set up the instructions.
Absolutely. And this is, I mean, things like this are really cool as well, where you say, so it gives you different options to be able to now create these different descriptions automatically. And we're looking at user controlled ways to do this rather than putting it on autopilot. But I mean, that's going to be the next generation, right? The ability to now put this on autopilot. So every time a record comes in, just complete it.
Right.
Because why wouldn't you? And so now we've got that record and we can see that that entry is in there.
That's very cool. What are you using for this portion of the solution?
Yeah, so we're using OpenAI as our backend to generate it, obviously then allowing both text, and we're using an image OpenAI solution as well. So we're starting to look at ways to automate company logos through this, for instance. So that's one of the pain points where you're creating content. You always want the latest logo available. And so the ability now to have that generated programmatically will be huge. We're not there yet, so I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. The text is working exceptionally well. One of the biggest benefits we've seen is actually automatically translating foreign languages as well. So where someone's written a description in English, we can translate it to any language with this Pitchly AI bot, and then display that on a tombstone. You can have an English version or a case study or a tear sheet or a practice overview or a pitch. And given that kind of automated out of the box, it really reduces that time and error rate.
Well, this is looks great. And I can imagine there is much more to the platform than you're able to show in this short amount of time. But Ryan, thank you so much for joining us today. For everyone watching, we will put the URL at the bottom of the page so that you're able to reach out and get in contact with Ryan and others at Pitchly. And thank you so much for watching the LTH product briefing.